Hey guys, in this episode, the Peteytown Piranhas will be competing for the MAC Championship, but first we're going to end our regular season with games against Buffalo and Penn State. Let's see how we do. Taking a look at the MAC conference standings before our matchup with Buffalo, we're at the top of the conference as we haven't lost a conference game yet. And behind us is Ohio, Western Michigan, Buffalo, Miami, Ohio, Ball State, and Toledo. So got a lot of teams still with a hope to make the conference championship game, but thankfully no matter what happens in our game against Buffalo, we'll be locked into it. It'll just be a matter of who we're going to play once we get there. But we don't want to think about that. We just want to focus on winning against Buffalo and continuing our momentum. So we haven't had much to update in recruiting, but now we finally have an update as left guard Jake Westbrook has joined the Piranhas. Looking at some more recruiting updates for this gem right guard Ben Hickson. We're in second place to Notre Dame right now, so that's going to be a tough one to try and pull out. In better news, we're in good position for this gem Mike linebacker Anthony Kaufman, so hopefully he signs pretty soon. We're also looking at this 4-star halfback Bo Mallory, and again Notre Dame is in a tight recruiting battle with us for him. He doesn't have the best speed in the world, but he's got some good acceleration and break tackle, so we're seeing if he can turn into something for us if we end up getting him. We're also looking good on 3-star quarterback David Alote and 3-star right guard Rashad Lemon. David Alote doesn't have the best stats in the world, but with accuracies all above at least 72, it's not a bad place to start. For our final MAC conference game of the season, we have the Buffalo Bulls. We're going to be traveling to them, and they are a 69 overall. Nice, but not nice for us on the field because it is 12 overalls better than us. So we're just looking to end MAC conference play on a good note. Our defense opened the game with a quick 3-and-out against Buffalo, and we're going to take over on their 35-yard line. We start with a little run up the middle by Pete for 5 yards. On the RPO play, we hit Pete Ackler over the middle of the field for a nice gain. A couple of Pete runs only net us 3 yards, and we find ourselves on 3rd down and 7. We're going to drop back to pass, and we're going to find Pierre Pete on a little drag route that gets us to their 26-yard line. With a fresh set of downs from the 13-yard line, we're going to find Pierre Pete, who manages to make the contested catch and get a couple of extra yards. We're going to drop back to pass, see what we can find, and we get the pass to Pete Dinklage for the Piranhas' first touchdown of the game. He makes a nice little possession catch there just to make sure he brings it in, and the Piranhas are off to a great start against Buffalo. After a great return got Buffalo to the 45-yard line, they had 2 straight incompletions to set up a 3rd down and 10, and we're closing in on him, and Perdare is going to bring him down for the sack. Our offense stalled out at midfield, so we had to punt the ball away. And we're going to put some pressure on him, and he can't get around Peter Jack, who takes him down for the sack. Peter Jack's sack puts Buffalo in a precarious position on 2nd down and 16. They're going to find something, and no, we get the interception with Pete Pistol, who was in the right place at the right time. Pete Pistol's interception puts the offense in great position as Pete's going to make a juke to give us a 9-yard gain. In empty formation on 2nd down and 1. We're going to find Pierre Pete quickly over the middle for a nice 1st down. At the start of the 2nd quarter, the Piranhas are 3rd down and 1 from the 13-yard line. We're going to try a pass play, and we're going to find Pierre Pete, but he can't hang on as their defender made a great play. Petey Previtt's going to go for it here on 4th down and 1. In an empty formation, we're going to find Peter Boyle, but he can't hang on, and Buffalo is going to escape. After the defense managed to get a stop on Buffalo, we're on 3rd and 3. We're going to toss it quickly over to Pedro O'Toole to give us a 1st down. The defensive battle in this game continues as Buffalo got our offense off the field yet again. They're going to try a play action here. They're going to find a guy, and he's going to break our tackle, and he's just got a lot of green grass in front of him, and nobody's in within 20 yards of him as he's going to score the big touchdown for Buffalo. After that long touchdown, we come out here in an I formation, and Peter Peck gets a nice lane to run through, and he gets us a 1st down. Third down and 1 for the Piranhas. We're going to send Pedro O'Toole in motion, and Pierre Pete's going to get wide open on a little RPO action to get us into their territory. Peterson's going to fire, and Pedro O'Toole is going to make a tight window catch to give us a first down. Out here in an empty formation on 2nd down and 5, just outside of Buffalo's red zone. And Peterson doesn't have the protection he needs, and we're going to give up the sack. After that tough sack on 2nd down, we find ourselves on 3rd down and 12 from the 31-yard line. Peterson's got pressure in his face again. He's going to fumble again, and thankfully we jump on it to give ourselves a chance at the field goal attempt. Steve P comes out, and he's going to put the kick up, and it is no good. He missed it wide to the left, and the Piranhas are just looking a little off-kilter right now. Buffalo's going to find a guy who makes a diving catch in the middle of the field. Buffalo's feeling themselves now as he looks, but Per Dare and who is that? Peter Jack are going to put an end to some of that momentum with a big sack. 3rd down and 10 for Buffalo. They're going to try a deep ball, and we're there step for step, and we knock it away. Our offense couldn't do anything yet again, so the Buffalo Bulls are going to try a play action, and they got a guy wide open over the middle of the field, and Geeter Peter saves it from being an even longer gain. 2nd down and 6, Buffalo's going to do another play action. He's going to step up, and he's going to find the first down yardage he needs. Just outside of our red zone now, Buffalo is really looking to gather momentum. Peter Jack almost closed in on the sack, but he got rid of it just before he could get there. From the 12-yard line, Buffalo's got us spread out here, and they're going to take advantage of it with a slant. That gets them the first down out just on our 2-yard line. From the 2-yard line, Buffalo is going to fake us out of our shoes as the quarterback keeps it, and they're going to go up by a touchdown. And I'm going to have to come in and see if I can tie this game up. After a loss with Pete on 1st down, I'm going to bring out a little wildcat here to see if that can free us up. And we're going to get to the edge with Pete. He's going to make a spin move and almost gets around everybody there. On 3rd down and 6, we're going to try a little halfback screen to Pete. Screen sets up, but they're able to get off the blocks and force us to a 4th down and 7. On 4th down and 7, Petey Previtt's going to decide to be crazy here on their 22-yard line, see if we can get something here. And he's going to find Peter Boyle to get us the first down we need to keep the drive alive. We're going to do a little read option play here. And Pete Capaldi's got a lot of room, but their guy managed to get off the block before we could get even more. See what we can do here on a little bubble pop play. Pierre Pete's going to make the catch in traffic for us to give us the first down. A little first down screen, never hurt anybody. I'm going to see if we can get it out there to Sir Peter. And he's got what he needs. He's got the blocks, and he's able to get around the guys and get a nice 8-yard gain. 2nd down and 2. We're going to have a little RPO flat play. And Pete Dinklage is going to get open as they crash down. He makes a nice little spin move to get around a couple of guys and gets us to the 14-yard line. We're going to see what kind of yards we can pick up here on 2nd down and 15. Pete Dinklage is going to get free, but only get us about 6 yards there to set up a 3rd and 9. It's 3rd down and 9 from the 13-yard line. And I'm going to get sacked because I can't get rid of the ball, and I fumble it away. After that devastating fumble in the red zone, Buffalo's just dicing up our defense. He's got a long gain for them, and finally get him down at the 33-yard line. They get us good on a screen pass here. That's going to get him big yards. He accelerates away from our guy, stiff arms another guy, and they get into the end zone to go up 2 touchdowns, and now I'm in a real conundrum. Buffalo's got us on the ropes now with a 4th down and 4. God. 3rd down and 2 here. We're going to have to be aggressive. And the aggressiveness pays off as we get them down for a loss. And their field goal is going to go through the uprights to make it a 17-point deficit. Going to see if Pedro O'Toole can do anything here. I'm going to toss it up just to see, and I throw an interception. I was just too aggressive. Well, I managed to score a touchdown at the end just to feel a little better about myself, but Buffalo beats us 24-14, and we're not going to go undefeated in MAC conference play. It's a good thing we didn't need it to make the MAC conference championship game, but still, it stings nonetheless. Looking at the stats against Buffalo, we actually outgained them 378 to 271. The running game for both teams was non-existent. We had 343 passing yards to their 231. We were 4 of 16 on third down, while somehow they didn't convert a third down. But this game ultimately came down to me turning the ball over once on that fumble with Peter Peterson while we were threatening to score, and then that interception I threw just trying to see if Pedro O'Toole could beat a guy, and we all know how that ended up. On paper, Peter Peterson had a solid game with 337 yards and 2 touchdowns, and that one interception that I threw was just trying something that really didn't need to be tried. And then the real story was the sacks rearing their ugly head from earlier in the season. We gave up 6 sacks, and he fumbled a couple of times, but we only lost the ball once. But just not a great day as far as that's concerned. Of course, rushing, we all knew that wasn't going well. Pete only managed 14 carries and 36 yards. Receiving, we were led by Pierre Pete getting 12 catches for 93 yards, and Pedro O'Toole getting 7 catches for 65 yards and a touchdown, and Pete Dinklage getting 6 catches, 54 yards, and a touchdown. On defense, we were led by Pete Mesquite getting 8 tackles. For sacks, Peter Jack got 2 sacks, while Per Dare added a sack. Pete Pistol got 1 interception that set up our offense really well, but we were not able to take advantage of that, and I think that was a real, foreshadowing of what was going to happen for the rest of the game, as we just couldn't really do much on offense in terms of getting points on the board. Unfortunately, Steve P. also missed his only field goal attempt of the game. Things aren't going to get any easier in our final regular season game against number 7 Penn State with their 91 overall. So it'll be a measuring stick of where we are. So let's see what we can do. Penn State's going to pass the ball right over the middle like we're not even there to get themselves a first down. Penn State's going to try a little play action. They got time to throw, and they find a guy on the sideline to give them another first down. The defense comes out on 3rd down and 9. They're going to do a little play action and try a deep pass, and their guy's beating us, and they're going to get the long touchdown to put themselves on the board first. Penn State's not messing around early as they hit that long touchdown and then forced a quick 3-and-out on our offense. They're going to take over at midfield and find a guy wide open in the seam to get themselves to the 26-yard line. The defense comes out here on 3rd down and 10. They're going to hand it off to their guy, and we managed to stop them for a 2-yard gain. Penn State's going to attempt the field goal. Kick is going to go up, and he puts it through to make it a 10-0 lead for Penn State. Going to hand it off to Pete, and he's got a gap up the middle to give us a nice first down. 2nd down and 7. The Piranhas are looking for something here, and we find it with a nice pass out there to Pete Ackler. So 2 straight incompletions lead to 3rd down and 10 for the Piranhas on the 47-yard line. We're going to look, and we're going to hit Pete over the middle, but he can't manage to squeeze past their defenders. With nothing to lose in this game, we're going to try to go for it on 4th down and 2. We send a guy in motion here, and he's going to run out of play. And we're going to hit a quick hitter over there, and we're going to get the first down to Pedro O'Toole. It's 3rd down and 8 here for the Piranhas, looking to continue their drive. We're going to try a lofted ball to the side, and it's incomplete as Penn State had 2 guys over there. Steve P. is going to attempt a very long field goal here just to put us on the board. The kick is up, and it is no good. It's wide to the right. After that momentum faded, we are here on a 2nd down and 5 on defense. Penn State's going to hand the ball off, and they're going to get the blocks they need, and they get the first down. So a couple of runs get the Penn State Nittany Lions to 3rd down and 7 at the beginning of the second quarter. They're going to drop back and pass, and we get the pressure on them, and we get the sack. And it's Pete Mesquite there on the sack. After the defense stepped up with a stop, the offense is here on 3rd down and 4. We got a guy in motion, and we're going to hit Pete over the middle. He makes the leaping grab to get us the first down. 2nd down and 8 for the Piranhas. We're going to hit a nice little pop pass, and we're going to get a first down. 3rd down and 7 here for the Piranhas. They desperately need to make something happen. We're going to hit our guy in the flat, and he's got enough space to get the first down. That's Peter Peck on the catch there. So the Piranhas are feeling a type of way now, and Pete's going to get a nice run for 9 yards. Going to do a direct snap to Pete, and that ends up being a good decision as he gets the first down. From the 28-yard line, we're going to go with an empty formation, which is risky against Penn State, and that risk did not result in any rewards as they got the sack. It's 3rd down and 11 here for the Piranhas, looking for any kind of positive things we can do, and it's not going to happen here as we go down for the sack. We're going to put it on the leg of Steve P again to see if he can put one through. And the kick is up, and I don't know if it doesn't look like it's good, but Penn State roughed our kicker. So they're going to keep our drive alive with some stupid penalties that we will gladly accept to keep our drive humming along. So after that gift of a penalty, we're going to hand it off to Pete, and he's got a big lane, and he's juking, but they managed to bring him down before he could get to the goal line. On the 5-yard line, the Piranhas are going to hand it off to Pete once again, and this time they stuff him. From the 4-yard line, we're on 2nd down and goal. Hand it off to Pete, and he can't get anything again. He just manages 2 yards. 3rd down and goal for the Piranhas. We're going to hand it off to Sir Peter. He's got nowhere to go. Petey Previtt is being super aggressive here. We're going to come out in the I formation. Going to hand it off to Pete, and he's going to be stuffed, and we're going to come away with nothing after that gift of a penalty. So after Penn State pushed the ball out from the danger zone near their goal line, they're here on a 3rd down and 9 from the 36-yard line. We're closing in on them, and we're going to get the sack with Per Dare. And that stops their drive in its tracks. So the Peteytown Piranhas, with 2 timeouts and just under a minute left, they're going to find a guy. That's Pedro Toole near the sideline, but he can't get out, so we have to use a timeout. From the 47-yard line, the Piranhas are going to drop back to pass. Peter Peterson's going to find Sir Peter, who gets us the first down yardage. Hustling to the line here with the clock winding down. It's going to go under 40 seconds now. And Peter Peterson's going to fire, and he's going to find Peter Boyle for a nice gain to their 28-yard line. Petey Previtt elects to let the clock run, still having a timeout in his back pocket. And we're going to find a nice gain over the middle to set up Steve P for the field goal. Steve P is going to put up the kick, and he puts it through the uprights to make it 10-3. So I come out here with us down 10-3 to start the second half, and they're immediately going to hit a big play over the middle on us. It's 3rd down and 7 here with a chance to get us off the field. We're going to go with the pass, and we're going to knock it away with some nice coverage there. After a solid defensive stop, we're going to come out here on offense, looking to try and tie the game. Pete's going to give us a nice chance to do that with a first down run here. It's 3rd down and 8 here, and against their defensive line and our offensive line, we're just going to try a little screen pass here, see what we can do, and they are all over it. No chance whatsoever on that one. I'm gonna punt it away. You get a nice tackle for a loss on 1st down. Got us off the pass. Penn State's gonna get a big gain there. I thought I took us off of the press, but maybe it was just the zones that we were playing. I'm trying to get a little aggressive here, see if that can pay off for us. And it is. They're going to run right into our blitz to make it 4th down and 5. They come out to kick the field goal, and they're going to put it through the uprights to make it 13-3. Second down and 6 here. Let's see if we can get an easy completion to Pete Dinklage, and we do. And we get a nice yardage after the catch. I'm going to give Pete a try here to see what he can do. And he's going to get nice yardage. And Pete Dinklage almost got the block. I could have waited for him there, but just a little too impatient. Pete's going to get it again and get us a nice 6-yard gain. Might as well milk it till they can stop it. Pete's going to cut back there and get us to 3rd and inches. 3rd and inches is QB sneak time. They're going to run it. They're going to hit us, but they actually drag Pete into the first down yardage there. Pete gets a nice gain on an RPO play for 9 yards. We're going to try our favorite play here to pick up this 4th down and inches. And Pete Dinklage is going to get wide open. Let's see if he can beat that defender. He does, and he's going to get into the end zone. Pete Dinklage, we get him free on that favorite play of ours, and he makes the rest happen all by himself with a nice spin move, and we're going to get it to within 13-10. So since we are under 7 points, I do have to give it back to Sim in this situation. And giving up that field goal looms large as they're going to get a big run up the middle on our defense. After that big run, they're going to do a little RPO, and we're a little discombobulated now as they have us on our heels. And they're going to do a little play action, and they're going to hit their guy over the middle on a hitch route, and Peter Alonso brings him down at the 36-yard line, or 38-yard line. Another play action. They're going to try to hit their guy, and we get the interception! Oh my goodness, what a play by Peter. How in the world did he make that interception? Peter coming out of absolutely nowhere. Looks like it just deflected around in there, and he just came away with it. Unbelievable. We're going to hit Peter Capaldi, and he's going to sneak his way through and only get to 2nd down and inches. We're going to hit Peter Capaldi again, and this time they get him the 1st down. We're going to hand it off to Pete, and he's going to run through a guy to get us a 1st down. He's been absolutely money here in the second half. With Peter Dinklage in motion, we're going to hit it over the middle of the field. Pete Ackler's got a big play! Oh my goodness, what a huge play by the freshman, and we get it down to their 15-yard line. After that awesome play by Pete Ackler, we rush the guys to the line at the 15-yard line, and we're going to hit a slant on the RPO to Peter Boyle in a tight window. 3rd down and 2 for the Peteytown Piranhas. And we're going to hit Pete, and he's going to get around him, and he's going to get into the end zone. I'm sorry, that's Peter Capaldi. I forgot that Pete was injured, but Peter Capaldi is going to get into the end zone and dance on Penn State as we're going to take a 17-13 lead against the number 7 team in the country. Can you believe the position the Peteytown Piranhas are in right now? Up 17-13 with just under 7 minutes left in the game. They're going to send a guy in motion here on a play action. Peter Jack is going to come in and get the sack. Peter Jack with a big defensive play here. Oh my goodness, Peter Jack. That's his 10th sack on the season too. Nice milestone for him, but an even bigger sack in this situation. After the Peter Jack sack, the crowd is going crazy. It's 3rd down and 17. Drew Aller's trying to find somebody. He dumps it off short, and we're there to tackle him. It's Peter Peters. And they're going to punt it away. My, oh my. It's 1st down and 10. The offense has something to protect now, but Peter Peterson is going to fumble it. He's going to get sacked, and he's going to fumble it away to Penn State. Oh, no. It's 2nd down and 8. Just under 5 minutes left to go in this game. Drew Aller's going to drop back. His guy is wide open over the middle of the field, and we're going to take him down at the 16-yard line. They're going to hand it off to their running back, and we're just not there as they get the 1st down on the 4-yard line. 3rd down and goal, 9-yard line. The crowd is going crazy once again. Drew Aller is going to fire. His running back is going to get around Peter Alonso and get into the end zone to take the lead back for Penn State. Nicholas Singleton just used his speed to get around our middle linebacker there, and he just accelerated into the end zone. So on the other side of the 2-minute warning, Peter Peterson is going to get sacked as they just bring pressure right up the middle. It's 3rd down and 17. Peter Peterson's going to get sacked in the end zone for a safety. Oh, what a devastating sequence of events. From that fumble to the Penn State touchdown, and now a safety by Penn State. 3rd down and inches. Penn State's going to run the ball with Nicholas Singleton, and we can't bring him down as he spins away and breaks tackles. And that's our last time out of the game. Penn State's going to kneel on it here to run out the rest of the clock. And we were so close to taking down the number 7 team in the country, but they made some plays at the end there that just let them break away from us there. But I am very proud of the guys for keeping this game close, even taking the lead at one point. But just a devastating sequence of events snaps our chances of winning this game. And they absolutely survived. I think they knew that. They absolutely escaped with one here. Let's take a look at the stats here now. We actually outgained them 319 to 301, so it's the 2nd straight loss where we've outgained our opponents. We actually ran the ball better with them, mostly due to Pete, but the sacks against Peter Peterson definitely brought that down under 100. They only had a few more passing yards than us, and we were right around the same as far as 3rd down conversions go. And each team had 1 turnover, but our fumble being the devastating turnover. Peter Peterson finished the day with 227 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no interceptions, but he was sacked 5 times as those higher caliber teams managed to disrupt our passing game once again with the pass rush, and of course that fumble that I mentioned, just really devastating. I feel bad for our quarterback here. Pete was an absolute stud in this game with 22 carries and 116 yards. We had Pete Ackler getting 2 catches for 63 yards, including that 52-yarder that was a huge play in the game. And Pete Dinklage had his 4 catches for 44 yards and a touchdown. And of course, we can't forget about Pete Capaldi with 4 catches, 18 yards, and that big touchdown that we were really seeing glory at that point, but ultimately to no avail. Defensively, Peter Peters led us with 11 tackles and 2 tackles for a loss. With sacks, Pete Mesquite, Peter Jack, and Per Dare all had 1 sack. And Geeter Peter made that absolutely sensational interception that didn't ultimately lead to anything, but we'll always remember it as a fantastic individual play by him. And Steve P. went 1 for 2 on his field goals, making a 37-yarder. And we officially got that gem Mike linebacker, Anthony Kaufman, to join the Peteytown Piranhas. And we got this pop-up that we will indeed be in the MAC championship game, and our opponent will be Miami of Ohio. Unfortunately, on the recruiting front, I am going to have to give up on Bo Mallory because our playing style for him is not being met, and Notre Dame has the higher pipeline, so I don't really see us winning that battle. So, taking a look at our coordinators, usually at this point after the first season, people will just fire their coordinators, trying to look for something better. But to be honest, I'm kind of loving our coordinators, what they bring to the table. Thomas DeCitro is a talent developer, and Brett Carpenter is a master motivator. So with my coach, I am planning on going down these kind of routes anyway, so I feel like I'm pretty content with them if they want to stay here. So before I step into this MAC Conference Championship game against Miami, Ohio, I feel like it's a good time to go over what the plan is as far as conference advancement. So essentially, it's pretty simple. If I win the conference championship, then I could advance to the next highest level conference after that. So if we end up winning this one, I will be going to the next highest conference. I'll have to check what that is when we're in the off season, and I can check like the custom conferences and all that kind of stuff. And the other thing is I will be skipping the Pac-12 and FBS because they only have like a couple of teams in there, and there's not really like a championship game for those really. So I'm just gonna stick with conferences that have like full rosters of teams and conference championships and all that. So that's pretty much the plan. Heading into this MAC conference championship game against Miami, Ohio, they are a 67 overall, so around the same level as other teams we've been playing this season, but they've had a lot more success than those other teams have had this year. So if we want to win this MAC Conference Championship, we're going to have to play our Peteytown Piranha way. On second down and 7, we're going to hit Pierre Pete, and he's going to get us a first down easily there. On second down and 7, we come out in the pistol formation. We're going to do a little power play with Pete, and he's going to get around the edge to get us the first down. We're already on their side of the 50, and we're going to hit Peter Boyle, and he's wide open off the RPO, and he's going to get into the end zone super quickly as we make a statement early in this MAC Conference Championship game. So the offense does their job to start the game. Let's see what the defense can do here. Miami, Ohio is going to drop back, and he doesn't get through as he's hit, and we recover the fumble off of a sack. Peter Cottontail comes flying in to pick up the fumble, and on the very first play on defense, we get a turnover. So the Piranhas are set up in incredible field position on the 17, and Pete makes a juke, and he sprints his way to the 1-yard line. The Piranhas are looking to go up 2 touchdowns here. We're going to hand it off to Pete, and he gets in easily for the touchdown. And the Peteytown Piranhas are up 14-0 with just over 8 minutes left in the first quarter. So that's what you call striking quick and striking strong. The defense is feeling themselves after that forced fumble on the last drive. Let's see what Miami, Ohio has going here. Their quarterback is going to throw, and he's going to hit their guy for the first down. He does a little RPO again, and their blocks are there, but Pistol fights his way to get the tackle, but not before the first down. Third down and 8 for Miami, Ohio. They're going to drop back to pass. We bring a little pressure, but he gets it out before we get there, but we manage to get him out before the first down. Miami, Ohio is looking to go for it on 4th down and 1, already down 2 scores. They're going to drop back, throw it, and they manage to hold on to it despite some tight coverage from Peter Lightning. Second down and 3, they're going to hit the RPO again, and they're going to get it to our 20-yard line. They're really mixing in those RPOs. So they've entered our red zone here, and they're going to throw a strike, and their guy gets free for the touchdown in between our safeties. Miami, Ohio fights their way back after going down 2 scores very quickly, so they're right back into this game now. The Piranhas take over after that touchdown, and Pete gets a lane up the middle and makes a juke to give us a nice first down. Peterson's going to hand it off to Pete again, and he gets us another first down. He's just off to a fantastic start in this game. Third down and inches for the Piranhas here. We come out in an empty formation. And we're going to hit Sir Peter, and he's got some room, but he runs right to where the defender was. He had a lot of open space, but didn't take advantage of it there, but still gets the first down for us. And we're going to hit Pete Dinklage over the middle. He runs away from the defender, but they've managed to bring him down at the 5-yard line. Start of the second quarter, the Piranhas are on 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. We're going to drop back to pass, but they bring pressure right up the middle to bring down our quarterback there. So that sack has led Miami, Ohio to get us on 3rd and goal from the 9-yard line. Peterson's going to feel the pressure again, and he's going to go down again. And Miami, Ohio, we were on the 5-yard line, and they pushed us all the way back to the 18-yard line after a couple of sacks. Sir Peter is going to have to come out to bring us a field goal here, and he gets it up, and he puts it through to make it a 10-point lead for the Peteytown Piranhas. The defense stuffs 2 runs for no gain, and it's 3rd down and 10 for Miami, Ohio. They're going to drop back to pass, and they find a guy wide open in the middle of our zones there. Miami, Ohio has life now on this drive, and they come out in an empty formation, and their quarterback is just going to run it up the middle where we have nobody expecting that, and he gets a big gain to get it to our 39-yard line. Miami, Ohio doesn't see Pete Mesquite, and he comes in on the blind side for the sack. And Pete Mesquite has just been so good at getting sacks at key times for us this season. Don't always expect that out of a slot cornerback, but Pete Mesquite said, "Don't tell me the expectations, just show me where the ball is and I'm going to make a play." So Pete Mesquite's sack gives it a 3rd and 16 for Miami, Ohio after they had a short completion. And they're going to try a deep ball here. We're there step for step, and he overthrew him, and we're going to get off the field. So the Piranhas are on 3rd down and 8 here from the 24-yard line. We're going to hit Sir Peter over the middle, and he gets us a 1st down. Peter Peterson looked like he was about to get sacked again, but he manages to hit our running back to keep the drive moving. Again with a pass, and we're going to hit Pedro O'Toole, and he's got some space to work, and he's going to work it all the way down to the 46-yard line. 3rd down and 3 for the Piranhas after the big pass play that got him here. And we're going to hit Pierre Pete over the middle of the field, and we get a nice gain to their 23-yard line. So after working it to just outside their red zone, it's 3rd down and 8 for the Piranhas. We're going to send our guy in motion here. And we're going to drop back, and Sir Peter is going to catch it over the middle of the field, and he's going to get us inside their 10-yard line with a fresh set of downs. After the 2-minute warning, we're in an empty formation here. Going to have to get rid of it quick, and we don't, and they're going to get the sack. Just the big story with our empty formation this year. It's really hit or miss. If we're not getting rid of the ball quickly, they're usually going to get in the pressure they need to get our quarterback down. And he's going to put up the kick, and he puts it through the uprights and gives us a nice 20-7 lead. Miami, Ohio comes out to begin the second half, really in need of putting a drive together, trying to get this game within 1 possession. And they're going to start with a pass out to their halfback in the flat, and he makes something out of it there, getting a big gain to the 45-yard line. Miami, Ohio hits their tight end over the 1st down marker. Miami, Ohio is really moving and grooving now as they're on our side of the 50, and they hit another play for another 1st down. So our defense is feeling a little out of sorts right now, but they have them on a 3rd down and 6, and they're going to try a deep ball, and we are going to defend it to get them to force a field goal attempt. They're going to put the kick up, and it's good. So they're going to make it 20-10, still a 2-possession lead, but still makes it a little more manageable for Miami, Ohio going forward. Let's see what kind of response our offense can put together now after that field goal drive from Miami, Ohio. We're going to start with a drop back, and we're going to hit our guy over the middle. That's Pete Dinklage getting us 1st down yardage. So after 2 very ineffective runs by our running backs, we're on a 3rd down and 11 here. And we're going to drop back to pass. Peter Peterson is going to throw an interception to a guy that was covered. That was just a very ill-advised throw from our quarterback there, and Miami, Ohio is really getting themselves back into this game now. Miami, Ohio is going to hit their guy right over the middle to give themselves a 1st down. 1st down and goal for Miami, Ohio. They're going to run it right up the middle, and Dare just manages to get him down before he gets in. 2nd down and goal from the 1 here. And they're going to hand it off, but we are there to make the play. Peter Peters brings them behind the line. Peter Peters helps to set up a 3rd down and goal here. And we're going to make the play in the backfield again. That's Pedro Andreas making the big play. Miami, Ohio is forced to attempt a field goal here. And we are just close to blocking it, but they managed to put the ball through the uprights to make it a touchdown lead for us. Miami, Ohio is really taking control of this game in the second half, and they come out again on offense, but we're there to bring them down behind the line. Miami, Ohio faces a 3rd down and 6 here, and their quarterback is going to throw it quickly, but Peter Lightning is going to make the stop before he can get the first down. 4th down and inches on their side of the 50-yard line. They're going to do a play action. Their quarterback is looking, and he finds his guy at the last possible second for the first down. 3rd down and 5. A big play in this game. They're going to set up a screen pass, and they're going to get what they need as our guy gets pancaked, and they get the first down. 3rd down and 13. They're going to set up another screen pass, but we're all over it this time. You cannot fool us twice in a row with Peter Jack bringing them down. So Miami, Ohio is setting up the field goal here. The kick is away, and it is good. He just snuck that in there for the long field goal, and it's going to be 20-16. We are in a big, desperate need for our offense to do something on this drive after Miami, Ohio is cut into our lead. And we are going to hit a wide open Sir Peter. He's got all the space in the world to run, and he gets it all the way to their 45-yard line. Just a great route run by Sir Peter there. A nice delivery from Peter Peterson. 2nd down and 6. We got our guy in motion. We're going to throw it to him, and he's got some open space, and he absolutely stiff arms the guy, and he gets the first down. This is the drive we needed from our offense, but right now they're facing a 3rd down and 8 and in danger of letting the drive stall out. We're going to put Pierre Pete in motion, and we are going to find Pedro O'Toole, who makes the nice catch to give us the first down. It's 3rd down and 4 for the Piranhas with just under 2.5 minutes left to go in the game. We're going to hand it off to Pete, and he's got a lane to get us the first down. The middle of the offensive line got the blocks they needed and allowed Pete to get the first down there. 3rd down and goal from the 2-yard line. We got 4 guys to the right, and it's just going to be a QB blast with Peter Peterson, who's going to put the ball in the end zone to give us that cushion we need at the end of this game. And he's going to dance as he knows we're in great position to take away the MAC championship. 3rd down and 1, and we get the interception. Oh my goodness. Peter Alonso hits their receiver, and the ball ricochets back to our free safety, Peter Cottontail, who makes the interception. That's going to seal our MAC Conference Championship victory. And there they are, the conference champions of the MAC, your Peteytown Piranhas. In their first season as a program, they managed to clinch that conference championship, and we're going to have to see which conference we move into next. So let's go over some stats now, shall we? They actually outgained us by 10 yards with 324 to our 314. The running game was also a little slow yet again, but also has to do with the sacks that we took. And they outgained us in the passing game as well. Where we really made our hay was on 3rd down with 7 and 11, and they were 4 of 13, so we were really getting them off the field nicely. And of course, that fumble that we recovered at the beginning of the game was huge as far as creating some separation from them that they just couldn't come back from. And that game-sealing interception from Peter Cottontail was nice, as we also acknowledged that interception from Peter Peterson that helped them battle back a little bit there. Speaking of Peter Peterson, his day, he had 251 yards, 1 passing touchdown, and an interception. And he was also sacked 4 times, and he also added that rushing touchdown that helped really put the cushion in we needed to seal the game. Pete was a man on the mission today with 13 carries and 73 yards, including 1 touchdown. For receiving, Sir Peter actually led us in receiving yards with 4 catches and 65 yards. Peter Boyle had that huge play on the first drive to give us the lead, and he had 2 catches for 49 yards and that touchdown. And Pierre Pete was solid with 9 catches and 46 yards. Now look at these tackle totals. Peter Alonso was everywhere with 17 tackles and 2 tackles for a loss, with Peter Peters behind him with 11 tackles and 3 tackles for a loss. And shout out to Peter Lightning for his 10 tackles. Did not get to the quarterback much in this one, but Pete Mesquite had a sack, with Petar Guitar and Petey McGee getting half a sack each. And then we all remember that interception from Peter Cottontail. And Steve P had a nice day today, making both of his field goals with a long of 35. And we were able to sign quarterback David Allote. John Mateer is your Heisman winner for 2025. Pierre Pete won the John Mackey Award with 73 catches, 692 yards, and 8 touchdowns. This doesn't include the bowl game, obviously, but we like to see that from our guy Pierre Pete. And for the first bowl game in Peteytown Piranhas history, we're going to have the Game Above Sports Bowl against Wake Forest. Another fun thing is that after the conference championship game, we reached level 10 as a coach, so we got Motivator unlocked, and I'm going to be going down that tab. So eventually the plan is to get tier 3 on this Motivator tab for all of our positions except for kicker and punter. I only had enough for 5 positions, so to start out with, I went with quarterback, running back, receiver, linebackers, and defensive line. Mostly I picked those just because our other coordinators already had defensive line and linebackers, running backs, and quarterbacks to tier 3, so I just wanted to match those to stack it. Then I had the extra points, so I put it into receiver because we have our guy Pete Ackler with his elite development, so I want to see if I can boost him a little bit. So now we've reached that important part of the recruiting where we can learn the dev traits of the guys we've signed so far. So we did get star development on left guard Jake Westbrook. And then we have some impact guys with Anthony Kaufman, Manu Ochi, Steven Driver, and Evan Uzama. And then the rest of these guys are normal development, including this quarterback David Allote. So we're going to stop this episode here. It was quite the episode as we did not finish the regular season the way we wanted to, but we did end up really pushing Penn State to the limit there, so I was happy to see that from the guys, even though we couldn't come away with the win. And I'm very proud of all of them for bringing home the MAC Conference Championship. Doing that in our first season is really special, and I'm just so proud of the guys for making it happen. But with that said, next episode we're going to be looking into our bowl game, and then we're going to have a breakdown of what we do in the off season. So I'll see you guys in the next video.